What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. As always, I hope everybody's having a great weekend, watching some spooky movies and whatnot. I know it is hot as hell here in Michigan. It's almost 90 degrees in October. What's up with that? And also, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, this is weird for me to be putting out a video on a Saturday. I normally put my stuff out on Sunday. This is a bit of a later Saturday video because, as you can see from the title, I have my Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook box set ready to check out. And I obviously opened the box up a little bit already. I couldn't help myself, but I really wanted to get my reaction on camera. I've tried my best to not see photos of this thing on Instagram, to not watch anybody's unboxing. I've gotten some glimpse of it, but I wanted to get my actual reaction. And I'm pretty happy to get this set, because it's limited to 15,000, and it's crazy to think that it sold out so fast for 15,000 copies, and pretty crazy they didn't make more, you know, for how fast these sold and everything. And I really wanted to do this video sooner, but I've been so busy with work. As you guys know, I work second shift, and I've just been logging in a lot of hours. I have a vacation coming up. I'm actually going to Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky, which is going to be a lot of fun. If anybody's going to be there and you see me there, come say hello and we shall get a beer. But anyways, yeah, like I said, been crazy at work. I worked over 12 hours on Thursday by choice, you know, to get a little overtime. Not really that bad. Everybody left the plan at that point. I was the only one there, so a little extra work never hurt nobody. But anyways, on to the unboxing. Now, like I said, I cracked this open a little bit, and I did watch the very beginning of Dead Pit's video, and Uncle Bill was talking about this. And he mentioned how they ship their stuff in a different box to Amazon for them to throw in another box, which is true. And I shut the video right after that. I didn't want to see him talking about it or anything. I wanted to get the surprise for myself. So anyways, it came in one box. I'm going to crack this bad boy open right now. In another box. Nice protective top right there. And look at that. The beauty. So, Nightmare on Elm Street isn't like one of my favorite franchises of all time. I'm more of a Friday the 13th kind of guy. But clearly I couldn't pass up on this, and I don't know why a lot of people are hating on this box set. I would have probably liked the Scream Factory set, even if it was on Blu-ray, that looked like the Friday the 13th and the Halloween box sets. But I digress. I'm clearly happy to get this on 4K. But there we go. So this is a huge box set, you guys. If you don't want to watch the movies, you can use this to gain some muscle. But I'm just going to rip this off. Yeah, as you guys know, when I went to that Motor City Comic Con, I kind of got ripped off and I didn't get to meet Robert Englund. Not his fault, it was the staff. So when I go to Scarefest, the plan is to meet all the Return of the Living Dead cast that's going to be there and have them sign my poster. I might have them sign my original copy of Return of the Living Dead on VHS. Let me know if you guys think I should get the VHS signed too. That might be kind of cool. But anyways, we're not talking about Return of the Living Dead. We're talking about Robert Englund. Like I said, he's going to be at the con, so I might have him sign my Freddy Krueger glove, my NECA glove that I got from Trick or Treat Studios. But anyways, I didn't even know this came with a digital code, so that's pretty cool. So here we are. Here's the front. Which that is pretty cool, the way they have all this engraved, the rips in the sweater. You know, when I first seen this was coming in this type of design on the Steelbook set, I didn't think it looked as cool, but seeing it in person, this is pretty sweet. A little bit of scratches I have on top, but I don't really think that's a big deal. You know, it's funny, like, I hear a lot of people bitching about Steelbooks. I'll never bag my stuff up. Like, Steelbooks are neither here nor there for me. But, like, maybe especially with, like, the Freddy stuff. Like, if this gets scratched up a little bit, does it really matter when It's a Steelbook box set with a guy who had knives for fingers that cut people up, you know. Maybe it'll look a little cooler. But, anyways, there's the back, everything on it. 7 films, everything except for Freddy vs. Jason. Got the 3D gloves and everything. I know this doesn't come really packed with special features or whatnot, but that's fine. I have a Never Sleep Again documentary in my collection, so I mean, do you really need much more than that? And I need to be careful not to rip this. Are you guys keeping your J card on? I don't normally keep my J cards on, but we shall see. And I was almost dumped all the movies. Okay, I'm curious what number I got too, because I know I've seen a guy online who got number 22 out of 15,000. But wow. Yeah, I never got the Rambo set that came like this, but here's what it looks like inside. 1 through 7. Back of the sweater. That's pretty cool. Looks like my part 2 is scratched up a little bit as well, but not really that big of a deal. Now, where does it say my number on here? I'm curious about that. Is it inside or something? I don't know. Either way, let's take a look at these movies. Part 1. I like that they did all the original artwork on these. And you have like I believe Roman numerals on the side. Not that that's necessarily Roman numeral, it's just a dash. But okay, Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection certificate of authenticity. You guys, I did get a pretty low number. That's pretty cool. 568 out of 15,000. What number did you guys get if you picked this up? So right there, part 1. And this is pretty cool. I know it's a space taker to be put them in a case like this, but for a franchise like this, like I said, I didn't grow up the biggest fan, though this is one of the first horror movies to scare me to death. I think this deserves this treatment, and very different that they put these out with like no title card up top and a little dark on the side with the titles. I wouldn't mind that being a little darker red to pop a little more, but that's just a small nitpick. So there we have part 2. And for anyone wondering, I'm not going to be rewatching this entire franchise on 4K, at least right away, because when I got part 1, I watched it right before I was going to meet Robert Englund last year, and I rewatched every movie on Blu-ray. So what I'll do is probably rewatch part 2 and part 3. 3, I did my ranking before, kind of, and I was saying I put 1 over 3. But it's kind of like ranking Child's Play 1 and 2. They kind of switch back and forth, where as of the moment right now, I will probably put part 3 as my favorite, Dream Warriors. I think the thing is, part 1 might be the best movie, but part 3 is the funnest, in my opinion. And part 2 is pretty damn good, too. Pretty scary. Maybe got the most evil Freddy in the movie, so that is part 3. Here's part 4 for you guys. I gotta be careful not to open this with a digital code. I ain't trying to give that away, even though I don't really use them. Now this might be the coolest artwork. I wish they would have, speaking of 3 being my favorite, I wish they would have kept Patricia Arquette in part 4. But I digress. Now, the one I am most excited to watch. Freddy's Dead. Now, this is probably the worst one out of all of these, but that is pretty cool. Oh, and the 3D glasses. So I'm a mark, man. You know, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. I might actually, I mean, this might sound like a stupid question. Do I need a 3D TV to make this work with these glasses? I would assume not. I might actually watch this with the glasses and see how that works. And Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I remember just the kid never shutting up screaming when I rewatched this. That was kind of Annoying. Hey, I thought this was something else when I cracked that open with a quick glance. That's when you can't see his face. The fuck? Oh shit. Okay. But that is part 7. Heyo. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this was pretty damn cool. Cool. I got it in in the 500s. My one, but I do agree with some people that say this is going to be a little hard to display. Now, how do you guys plan on displaying this? Are you going to keep your J card on and kind of put it on the shelf like that? You're going to have it displayed like this? I'm kind of curious how everyone else is displaying this on the shelf. I'm probably going to throw this up top on the top of my shelf. But yeah, I'm super excited to get this, and I'm kind of surprised like a studio would put something this nice out. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. Pretty badass. But yeah, not the Scream Factory release we wanted, but it's just crazy we finally got the Nightmare on Elm Street box set. You know what I mean? We've been, for anybody complaining about this set, us as collectors, horror fans, we've been bitching for this for so long. And we finally got it. And I'm excited to add this to my collection. This is one badass release. And yeah, if you had to get the smaller set, no problem with that. I don't understand the people with the smaller set bitching about this one. How bad this is. It's like we've been wanting a box set forever. Why bitch about it? So, if you got the smaller set, cool. If you got the bigger set, cool. It's just pretty exciting overall that we got these on 4K. That's what matters most, the quality of the movies. And I'm excited to go back through these. Like I said, I'll probably just watch 2 and 3 right off the bat. And then maybe watch Freddy's Dead, even though it kind of sucks because it's got the 3D glasses. I got a feeling I'm going to go through all of these, honestly. But 2 and 3 are the priority. I'll probably do that in a double header. And, yeah. And anyways, I meant to mention, too, anybody that's been asking me to do, like, my 31 days of Halloween or whatever that I'm going to watch, I don't really like doing those videos necessarily because I don't like tying myself down to a list. You know what I mean? I just like picking them as I go. So I'm probably going to do a video later in the month of, like, most everything that I watched. But anyways, let me know what number you got in the comments on this set. And let me know what your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie is. But with that being said, I just wanted to check this out a little bit. Very happy that I finally got this unboxed and could finally check it out. But what a badass release. What a great time to be a horror fan. Other than that, blood, guts, gore. I'll check you guys next time.